Hello everyone, my name is Elspeth. You're watching the Planeswalker Pantheon today. We are opening up a collector's booster box from the latest set from Magic the Gathering, Innistrad Midnight Hunt. Anyways, enough talk, let's do this, shall we? We're just gonna cut there and just get a... There we go. Alright, so you know the drill. Collector's boosters, shiny, shiny, shiny. You know, cool artworks, extended stuff. You know the drill by now. Alright, so we got all of our packs right here. And let's start with the first one. Alright, so we've got just some foil commons here. Oop, already done with the commons. Got Clear Shot, Darren Ambusher, foil planes. Our first rare is Can't Stay Away. So for a white and a black, you get a sorcery. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains if this creature would die, exile it instead. You can flash it back for 3 white and a black. We have an extended art, Empty the Laboratory. An extended art, Hallow Respite. Got an alt art, Shady Traveler. An alt art, Harvesttide Infiltrator. Another rare here in Sloggark the Overslime. So for 1 green and a blue, you get a legendary creature, Ooze the 3/3 Trample. Whenever a land is put into your graveyard from anywhere, put a +1/+1 counter on Sloggark. Remove 3 +1/+1 counters from it to return it to its owner's hand. And when it leaves the battlefield, return up to 3 target land cards from your graveyard to your hand. Got a foil Hound Tamer. And we've got a foil alt art of Sareth the Viper's Fang. So for 2 and 2 green, your legendary creature, Human Warlock. It's a 3/4. Other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch. Other untapped creatures you control have Hexproof. And for 1 and a tap, untap another target creature or land you control. And, ooh, we've got a blue-black zombie with Menace here as well. I've not actually seen this token yet. And, of course, the normal token with Decayed. There we go. Just make sure everything's positioned nicely enough. And we'll go to the next pack. Who makes the Menace zombies, then? I can't actually immediately think on who makes those zombies. Alright, so some commons. Alright, so we've got a Blade Stitch Scarb, Vivisection, foil Full Art Mountain. And we've got a Briarbridge Tracker, so for 2 and a green, you get a creature Human Scout, it's a 2/3 Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, investigate, and as long as you control a token, it gets +2/+0. Got a extended art Curse of the Relentless Dead. An extended art Patrician Geist, which I probably should have read these. Got an alt art Candlegrove Witch, an alt art Hound Tamer. Oh, we got an alt art Cordelia Dawnheart Prime. So for green and a white, you get a legendary creature, Human Warlock. It's a 1/1 with protection from werewolves. Human creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any of this creature's colors. 4 green and a white, and tap, and put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So you get a little Gavney Township action. Got a foil Shady Traveler and Stalking Predator. And we have, a foil full art Croaking Counterpart. I'll actually read this one, and I'll go back and read these in a moment. So for 1 green and blue, you get a sorcery, create a token that's a copy of target non-frog creature, except it's a 1/1 green frog. You can flash it back for 3 green and a blue. And we've got an insect and a human token. So for the cards that I accidentally skipped, we've got a full art Petition Guy, so 1 and 2 and a blue for a creature Spirit Knight. It's a 2/2 flying. Other spirits you control get +1/+1, and spells you cast from your graveyard cost 1 less to cast. Curse of the Relentless Dead, so 2 and a black enchantment or a curse, enchant player. Whenever a land enters the battlefield and an enchanted player's control, you create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. Hallowed Respite, so for a white and a blue, you get a sorcery. Exile target non-legendary creature, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it, otherwise tap it, and you can flash it back for 1 white and a blue. And Empty the Laboratory, so for X and 2 blue, you get a sorcery. Sacrifice X zombies, then reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a number of zombie creature cards equal to the number of zombies sacrificed this way. Put those cards onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And that's what you missed on this episode of Glee. Sorry, I could not help myself with that reference. Alright, so got some commons. Our first uncommon is a Loyal Griff. Got a Village Watch, a foil Forest. Oh, we got a foil Vadric Astral Archmage. So for 1 blue and a red, you get a legendary creature, human wizard. It's a 1/2. If it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as it enters the battlefield. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost X less, where X is Vadric's power. And when day becomes night or night becomes day, put a +1/+1 counter on Vadric. We've got a full extended art Abyssin's Memorial. So for 5 and triple white, you get a legendary artifact. It's indestructible. Other legendary permanents you control have indestructible. We also have an extended art Grafted Identity. So for 2 and 2 blue, you get an enchantment aura. As additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. You control enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Let's be real. This is Nick Cage in Face Off. Got a Tireless Hauler in Alt Art, Tavern Ruffian in Alt Art. Ooh, we've got an Alt Art rare here in Denic Pious Apprentice. So for a white and a blue, you get a legendary creature, Human Soldier. It's a 2/3 with lifelink. Cards in graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities, and you can disturb it for 2 white and a blue. It then becomes Denic Pious Apparition, a legendary creature, Spirit Soldier. It's a 3/2 with flying. Whenever 1 or more creature cards are put into graveyards from anywhere, investigate. This ability triggers only once each turn, and if it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile instead. A foil Bird Admirer. Ooh, and we got another foil, alt art here in Suspicious Stowaway. So for 1 and a blue, you get a creature, human, rogue, werewolf. It's a 1/1. It can't be blocked, and when it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card, then discard a card, and it has Daybound. When it transforms, it will be Seafaring Werewolf. So it's a 2/1 creature werewolf. It can't be blocked. When it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. That's it. And we got a Devil Token and a Spirit. Alright, next up. Alright, so some commons. Got Ritual of Hope, Vengeful Strangler as some other foil uncommons, a foil full art Swamp. Ooh, we've got a foil Tovlar Dire Overlord. So for 1 red and a green, you get a legendary creature, human werewolf. It's a 3/3. Whenever a wolf or werewolf deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more wolves and or werewolves, it becomes night. Then transform it any number of human werewolves you control, and it has Daybound, where it can transform into Tovlar the Midnight Scourge. Legendary creature werewolf, it's a 4/4. Whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, and for X red and a green, target wolf or werewolf you control gets +X/+0 and gains trample until end of turn. We also have Drowning Dream. So for X, 2 and a blue, you get an instant. Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast a spell, you may choose both. Target player draws X cards, or target player mills twice X cards. We also have a Geist Flame Reservoir. So for 2 and a red, you get an artifact. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a charge counter on Geist Flame Reservoir. 1 and a red, to remove any number of charge counters from Geist Flame Reservoir. It deals that much damage to any target, or for 1 and a red, and tap, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. We have a Dawnheart Rejuvenator and a Bird Admirer. Ooh, we got an Adeline Resplendent Cathar as another alt art rare. So for 1 and 2 white, you get a legendary creature, human knight, a Starfall with Vigilance. Adeline's power is equal to the number of creatures you control. Whenever you attack, for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control. We have a foil Dawnheart Rejuvenator. Oh, wait, no, I have to try the flip. I don't know, that one's on the flip. And we've got a foil extended art Sludge Monster. So for 3 and 2 blue, you get a creature horror. It's a 5/5. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you put a slime counter on up to 1 other target creature. Non-horror creatures with slime counters on them lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 2/2. We have a bird and a zombie on that one. Next up. Alright, flip through some commons. Got a Scarb Wrangler and a Hungry for More and a Foil Island. Very, very nice. We got a Croaking Counterpart in foil and non-extended. I won't read the ability. The text, we've already done that. We have a Celestial Judgment. So for 4 and 2 white, you get a sorcery. For each different power among creatures on the battlefield, choose a creature with that power. Destroy each creature not chosen this way. We have a Sagada's Splendor. So for 4 and 2 white. For 4 and 2 white. Sagada's Splendor, 2 and 2 white enchantment. As Sagada's Splendor enters the battlefield, note your life total. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card if your life total is greater than or equal to the last noted life on total for Sagada's Splendor, then you note your life total. Whenever you cast a white spell, you gain 1 life. That was a little bit messy. We got a Village Watch in the alternate artwork. We have a Shady Traveller. Hey, we've got Old Stick Fingers in the alt artwork as well. So for X and a black and a green, you get a legendary creature horror to Star. When you cast the spell, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X creature cards. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your graveyard, then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Stick Fingers' power and toughness are each equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. We have a Faint Blade Brigand in foil. And we've all as an alt art, and we've got another Catilda Dawnheart Prime in alt art foil as well. Got an Ooze token and a human there as well. Woo-wee. Alright, next up. Alright, so we'll skip through the commons. Got an Unnatural Moonrise and a Storm Skrillex as our uncommons. Got a foil Forest right there. We've got a Sigardan Savior. So for 3 and 2 white, you get a creature angel. It's a 3/3 of flying. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast or return up to 2 target creature cards with mana value 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. So it's a slightly bigger Revelark, which is pretty interesting. We have a full extended art Ruinous Intrusion. So for 3 and a green, you get an instant. Exile target artifact or enchantment. Put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the mana value of the permanent exiled this way. Ooh, we have an extended art Spectral Adversary. So for 1 and a blue, you get a creature spirit. It's a 2/1 with flash and flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 and a blue any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, you may put that many +1/+1 counters on Spectral Adversary, then up to that many other target artifact, creatures, and or enchantments phase out. We have a alt art Candle Grove Witch. Harvesttide Infiltrator, which actually does transform. Got a Brutal Cathar. So for 2 and a white, you get a creature human soldier werewolf. It's a 2/2. When this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Brutal Cathar, exile target creature and opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. It has Dayban, where it can transform into a Moonrage Brute. It's a 3/3 creature werewolf with first strike and ward of pay 3 life. We've got a foil Harvesttide Infiltrator. And we've got an extended art foil Slaughter Specialist. So for 1 and a black, you get a creature vampire warrior. It's a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 white human creature token. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Slaughter Specialist. We have a vampire and a wolf token right there. Alright, next up. Alright, so flick through the commons. Oh, we've got a foil Fair Play and a Join the Dance. Got a Full Art Island in foil. And we've got a normal foil Old Stick Fingers right there. Hey, this is one I've been chasing. Got Lind Cheerful Tormentor. So this is the official, I guess, Curse Commander. So for 1 blue, black, and red, you get a legendary creature human warlock. It's a 2/4 with Death Touch. Whenever a curse is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return it to the battlefield attached to you at the beginning of the next end step. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may attach a curse attached to you to one of your opponents. If you do, draw 2 cards. Got a Curse of Surveillance, very nice that we got Lind and then we got one of the curses. For 4 and a blue, you get an enchantment or a curse, enchant player. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, any number of target players other than that player each draw cards equal to the number of curses attached to that player. We have a alt art Village Watch, Shady Traveller. Oh, and we got a full art Deserted Beach. So Deserted Beach is a land that enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. And it taps for white and a blue. Got a foil Bird Admirer. Oh, and we got a foil alt art Leah, Disciple of the Drowned. So for 3 and 2 blue, you get a legendary creature human wizard's a 3/4. Spells can't be countered. This includes your opponent's spells, so that might be important to note. Each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. This flashback cost is equal to that card's mana cost. You also have a devil and a spirit token. Alright, next up. Okay, got some commons. Oh, and we've got a foil Borrowed Time, foil Overwhelmed Archivist, a foil Forest, and we've got a Consuming Blob. So for 3 and 2 green, you get a creature who's a star, and star power and a star +1 toughness. Consuming Blob's power is equal to the number of card types among card types in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that number +1. At the beginning of your end step, create a green ooze creature token with this creature's power is equal to the number of card types among card types in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that number +1. So it basically makes copies of itself, but doesn't have the ability to the tokens have the ability to poop out more versions. We've got a extended art Curse of Conformity. So for 4 and a white, you get an enchantment or a curse. No non-legendary creatures enchanted player controls have base power and toughness 3/3 and lose all creature types. Got a extended art Mask of Grizzlebrand. So for 1 and 2 black, you get a legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature has flying and lifelink. Whenever equipped creature dies, you may pay X life, where X is its power. If you do, draw X cards and you can equip it for 3. Got a Dawnheart Mentor in the alt art. Harvesttide Infiltrator / Harvesttide Assailant. Oh, we've got Jadar, Ghoul of Nephalia in the alt art as well. So for 1 in the black, you get a legendary creature human wizard. It's a 1/1. At the beginning of your end step, if you control no creatures with Decayed, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. Got a foil Canogrove Witch. And we've got a extended art foil Guy's Flame Reservoir. We've got a bird and a zombie token. Alright, next up. Alright, so we've got commons. Alright, so we've got a Bloodtide Collector and Hound Tamer. As our uncommons, we've got a foil Plains. Hey, we got a foil Rockfall Vale, so it's like the beach that we opened up earlier, but taps for red and green instead. We've got a extended art Somberwald Beastmaster. So for 6 and a green, you get a human ranger. It's a 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, you create a 2/2 green wolf creature token, a 3/3 green beast creature token, a 4/4 green beast creature token. Creature tokens you control have death touch. So it's kind of a mono green take on Tristani's summoner, which does something pretty similar. Got a extended art Can't Stay Away, which we won't read. We've got a Burly Breaker / Direstrain Demolisher. Tireless Hauler / Direstrain Buller. We've got a Suspicious Stowaway in just a normal version, but we will still flip to see that gorgeous artwork. We've got a foil Harvesttide Infiltrator. And we have as a foil alt art, Ludwig Necrogenius. So for blue and a black, you get a legendary creature human wizard's a 2/3. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you mill a card. For X 2 blue and 2 black, you exile X creature cards from your graveyard, transform Ludwig, X can't be 0. Activate only as a sorcery where it transforms into Orlag Ludwig's Hubris. It's a 4/4 legendary creature zombie. As it transforms into Orlag, it becomes a copy of a creature card exiled with it, except its name is Orlag. It's a 4/4 and it's a legendary blue and black zombie in addition to its other colours and types. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on Orlag equal to the number of creature cards exiled with it. We also have an elemental and a human. Alright, next up. Oh, I held it upside down like an absolute min. Alright. So we'll crack through these commons. Yep, our first uncommon is Nebelgeist Intruder. Got a Phantom Carriage as well, and a foil Full Art Mountain. Oh, we got... this one's actually flipped on the wrong side. We've actually got another Suspicious Stowaway, but it was actually flipped already to the Seafaring Werewolf. We have an extended art Visions of Duplicity. So for 2 and a blue, you get a sorcery. Exchange control of 2 target creatures you don't control. For 8 and 2 blue, and you can flash it back for 8 and 2 blue. It costs X less to cast this way when X is the greatest mana value of a commander you own on the battlefield or in the command zone. We have an extended art Consuming Blob, a Candle Grove Witch in the old art, Tavern Ruffian also in the old art. Ooh, and we have a Ren Carlos, Stalwart Slayer in the old art as well. So for a 1 red and a white, you get a legendary creature, human knights, a 2/3 flying and haste. If a spell would deal damage to you or another opponent you control, prevent that damage. If a spell would deal damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +1 instead. We have, a foil Kessig Naturalist there as well, and Lord of the Ulvenwald in the old art. And our foil extended art is Burn Down the House. So for 3 and 2 red, you get a sorcery and choose 1. It deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Or you can create 3 1/1 red devil creature tokens with, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. They gain haste until end of turn. Oh, we've got a tree folk. I believe this is the tree folk that Renin 7 actually makes. I've never actually seen this token. And we've got a clue. I've never seen this clue token either. That's real cool. Sorry. Some of these tokens, because they appear for like rares and mythics, you don't get to see them as often. Alright. This is the second last pack. We'll flick through these commons. Oh, we got a foil Rite of Oblivion and Heirloom Mirror. Foil Full Art Island. We've got a foil normal Deserted Beach. Alright, our first extended art is Heronblade Elite. So for 2 and a green, you get a creature human warrior. It's a 1/1 with vigilance. When another human enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on the Heronblade Elite. Tap to add X mana of any one color where X is Heronblade Elite's power. We have a extended art Malevolent Hermit. So for 1 and a blue, you get a creature human wizard. For a single blue, you sacrifice the Hermit. Counter target non-creature spell unless its control pays 3. It's a 2/1, and you can disturb it for 2 and a blue, where it becomes the Benevolent Geist. So it becomes a 2/2 creature spirit wizard with flying. Non-creature spells you control can't be countered. If it would be put into graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. We have a Spell Rune Painter in the old artwork, which we'll flip over. Got a Bird Admirer, which again we will always flip over. Ooh, and we got Florian Voldaren Scion. So for 1 red and a black, you get a legendary creature Vampire Noble. It's a 3/3 first strike. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the total amount of life your opponent's lost this turn. Exile 1 of those cards and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may play the exiled cards this turn. That's really nice. We've got a Tireless Hauler as our foil flip card, and we got a Hallowed Respite as well in our foil extended art. Got a Beast and a Zombie token, and this will be our last pack, guys. Let's see if we can end this with a bang. Alright, so got our commons. We've got Dawnheart Mentor and Fading Hope as our foils. Got a foil Full Art Swamp. Got a Shipwreck Master, which is the blue-black version of our land cycle. We have Curse of Clinging Web. So for 2 and a green, you get an enchantment or a curse. Enchant player. Whenever a non-token creature enchanted player controls dies, exile it, and you create a 1/2 green spider creature token with Breach. We also have an extended art Storm the Festival. So for 3 and triple green, you get a sorcery. With the top 5 cards of your library, you may put up to 2 permanent cards with mana value 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You can flash it back for 7 and triple green. We have an alt art Dawnheart Rejuvenator, a alt art Kessig Naturalist, and we've got Tovalar's Huntmaster. So for 4 and 2 green, you get a creature human werewolf. It's a 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, create 2/2 green wolf creature tokens, and it has Dayband, where it transforms into Tovalar's Pack Leader. So when it enters the battlefield or attacks, you create 2/2 green wolf creature tokens. For 2 and 2 green, another target wolf or werewolf you control fights target creature you don't control. Got a foil Dawnheart Wardens. We got a foil extended art Meathook Massacre. So for X and 2 black, you get a legendary enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life, and whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain 1 life. So that's a very nice hit there to round out the box. We've got a bat token and a human. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe. It lets people know that we exist. You can follow me on Twitter, links down below, and you can also find us at the Planeswalker Pantheon on Facebook. Again, links are down below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.